This is my differential here on Do It Yourself. I had a hole in my, as you can see, I welded it. It's an ugly job, but you know what? No water is getting in there and there won't be any problems. Yes, you can weld it. If you have a hole, a little bit of rust, you clean it off and you weld it. You don't have to buy a new differential for $800, $500, depending on where you live. And I just emptied it. As you can see, there's that milky oil. Emptied the heck out of it. I jacked up one side, jacked up the other. I haven't cleaned it yet, just to prove. So I jacked up that side to drain out that side of the differential. Then that side of the rear axle, sorry. And all the fluids came in. Now, what I'm doing is, I'm cleaning it up with a towel. You're gonna need a lot of paper towels, at least one whole roll of paper towels. That's probably what I use now. Make sure you put it in a plastic bag and you dispose of it properly, depending on who you are. But after you're done, just go in there with your hands and just try to clean all the excess oil out with a rag, to the best of your knowledge. Oil and mixed up rag. I bought all the seals and everything. I have everything down packed. So changing your differential is very easy. You gotta make sure you clean all this off here. All this off with a razor blade. And this is for an F150, 2004 Triton. Works on any F150. But you always have to check out your fluid, especially if you're backing up into the water and stuff like that, because you never know where you might have a situation that you're unbeknownst to, and you don't know that you have a situation in this water going into your axle. I checked it out. I saw one day that I had this milky, cloudy substance in the floor next to my truck, and I was trying to figure out what it was. I said, okay, obviously it's leaking, and thank God that I was able to find out where it was leaking at, because you couldn't notice before. But it all did go in there and it started leaking out. Find the hole, cleaned up the hole with some degreaser, let it dry it up, heat it up with a blowtorch, and at that point I proceeded to weld. You're better off heating it up with a blowtorch, because it will make complete full contact when you weld. I have a 125 welder, and I weld a lot of stuff with that, and I always do very good welds. And this is a Harbor Freight welder, and that's because I always clean it up good, and I heat it up with a blowtorch beforehand. What's a $2.50 gas tank of blowtorch? Heating it up and making sure you got a good weld. I mean, shit, you can basically weld anything with it, but here I go. You gotta make sure you get in there with a napkin, clean everything off right. I come over here from the back. I start from the back to the front, then I kind of scoop everything over, and I bring it out. You see how it all comes out right there? And I bring it out, because you have to. I mean, I know. You have to bring it all out. I mean, you could definitely put new oil in there, but you don't want that type of situation. Here's some more. Getting right underneath there. Just jamming up the napkin over there, so it pushes everything out. That when everything comes out, it's nice and clean. And I could proceed to put in the new oil and not have any problems. But you definitely want to find out where your hole is at and fix it up. Or if you're just deciding to change your differential oil because you have a lot of years on your vehicle, that's totally fine. I had to do this because, unbeknownst to me, I had a hole that was going to screw me over in the wintertime, because if it freezes up solid because you have water in there, yeah, you're definitely spending about $800, close to $1,200 with the install and everything else. And this is much more easier. Gasket was $10, $15 for the gasket. And I prefer to spend $15 to spend $800 and do it myself. But you gotta make sure you scrape everything off. Everything. And I used my old gasket. Not my old gasket. I bought a new gasket. And what I did use that was old was the old cover. But I cleaned it up good, as you can see. Cleaned it up very well. Spray painted it, cleaned it up, sanded down, spray painted it and everything else. And gonna put the ceiling on now. Get yourself a little scraper like this from AutoZone. Thing works wonders. It's like $250. It's only $2.50. Sorry, I'm a little out of gas after all this. You guys have a nice one. This is fixing up your F150 differential, draining it and refilling it. And you can always go to Walmart and buy the gear fluid. Yeah, that's pretty bad. According to your vehicle, you might have a different. Mine was 95 W140. It's pretty thick, but it's gonna be awesome because you need fluid in there, and you need a nice thick fluid that's gonna go everywhere when you're driving. You guys have a beautiful day and God bless.